Happy Friday. Welcome. Um. Ooh, I have a picture of myself. My aunt sent me a picture of myself from 7 years ago. Would you like to see? You removed the Weird Al game already. Well, I wanted to. Here's the thing, Chozo. I don't want to overuse it. You know what I mean? I want it to be a really fun thing for people. And sometimes I do this, where you know how you have a really good song that you love and you listen to it over and over and over and over and over again until you ruin the experience. That's what I'm trying to avoid with this, because I'm like, ooh, this game is so fun, and I want people to think it's fun. But if we do it all the time, then it might lose its specialness. So I'll turn it on next week. Yeah, I'll bring it back next week. But don't worry, I've got some additional pictures. I'm preparing. I also need to stock up. I gotta stock up on my photos of me and Weird Al. We played Weird Al a couple times this week. It's just yesterday I had the Redeem active, so yeah, don't you worry, it'll be back sooner rather than later. You're not worried. Okay, well, you know. Okay, look at this picture of me from 7 years ago. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, what? I barely even recognize myself. That's crazy. I told you about my eyebrows. I used to wear really heavy eyebrow liner. My eyebrows were very intense. I still had my baby fat. I had a little bit of on my cheeks. A little bit of... I also had really bad acne back then. I think a lot of it had to do with my diet, but also I did a second round of Accutane, and luckily that cleared my skin up. But yeah, it was a nice little blast. My husband's over here. I edited out his photos, so I didn't dox him. But it's interesting to see a picture of myself from before. 7 years ago? Yeah, you're 21. I knew it. Yeah. Well, 7 years ago, I was 21. Yep. Yep. I was 21 7 years ago. So right now I'm going to be turning 28 at the end of this month. Yeah, my birthday's at the end of this month. I'm pretty excited. I don't really have anything planned. I'm going to be going on that trip to Oregon, which will be fun. But besides that, oh my gosh, my 20s are almost over. I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to be 30. I still have 2 more years. Before I'm 30. But, wow. If I could talk to this version of myself back then, she may be smiling. But, this is probably one of the lowest periods of my life. Probably one of, I was the most depressed, and the most unsure I had ever been. So we've come a long way. I've come a long way. So it's nice to look back and reminisce and be like, wow, we made it. Sadness, I know, depression. It happens to the best of us. Anyway, you guys, I injured my finger. Look what happened. I'll tell you what I was doing. I was cutting off a plant. Here, I'll show you my finger. No, I'm just kidding. My plants, also the tape is coming off. I'm trying to get it on there tighter. Sorry, I didn't mean it, Chozo. I take it back. I was just showing you my finger. I was just showing you my injury. Nothing other than that. You know how you take the function of your hands for granted? And then you end up getting one tiny little cut somewhere on your finger. And it like, you don't realize how much you use your hands for things and how much of an inconvenience it is when you've got that cut and you have to like suddenly wash your hair or like, you know, cook something or like wash your hands. And now you got to worry about like stuff getting in there. And so anyway, what happened was I was snipping something. It was like a branch from one of my plants. And the snipper, it's the scissors, they don't just go together, they go like this. They go over each other. And so my finger was right where when I was, and it just like, it cut it really super deep. I was bleeding everywhere. Yeah. It's a really deep cut actually. So we had to like cover it in gauze. This is my second round of gauze. And I keep fiddling with it. I keep making sure that it's... You guys ever do that? Where it's like, gotta make sure it's nice and tight. It's throbbing right now. But man, is adrenaline nice? When you get that adrenaline, it doesn't feel like anything. Like you just like are like, oh shit, because you cut yourself and you're like, oh crap. And you gotta, rinse out the wound, clean out the wound. But you're not even thinking about pain or anything. You're just thinking about like, oh shit, I need to solve this problem. And then once the adrenaline runs out, you're like, ow! It really hurts. It doesn't hurt that bad. But, like my husband was telling me a story about how some soldiers in, I believe, World War II, I don't know what war it was, but apparently there were reports of people being shot and not knowing until the adrenaline ran out and they would just keel over dead. Imagine not knowing that you've been shot. That's how powerful adrenaline is. It'll just like keep you go, and you're not really even feeling it or paying attention to your body. You're just thinking about the next thing to do and the next thing to do, right? So that's an extreme example. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust my music really quick. There you go. But yeah, so today we are once again reading the Bhagavad Gita, classic Hindu text. We already finished the first 3 chapters, and already there's some interesting main themes that I'm not sure I agree with. And that's okay, I don't have to agree with everything. But it kind of prompted if they kept the adrenaline going, they could have lived for a week. Yeah, I think the adrenaline, I don't know how it really works, but my understanding is that it just keeps them from even noticing that they're bleeding out, right? So like they're actively dying, and the adrenaline's not really doing much to keep them from dying. But what it does do is it keeps them from noticing that they're dying. So you can act. I think that's how it works. Anyway, so the question of the day is, oh, did I pin it? I didn't pin it. I'm going to pin it right now. Question is, can any human action be justified if you consider things at a large enough scale? So this is a question that I was thinking about yesterday after reading. We were talking about, is there such thing as a just war? And in the eyes of God in this reading, apparently there is. But the justification for that is because everything is God. And therefore, the good part of God must fight the evil part of God. And in the end, it's all just going to be okay. Because it doesn't really matter that much. Everything's on a cosmic scale. And so when you think about things in terms of just the grand scale of the cosmos, then something like war is not something it's not something to even fret about. And like, I don't, I mean, this is not a new idea. I mean, I feel like this is what every religion does is, I mean, if we go back to the question of, is there such thing as a just war? I think the only justification that's ever really been made is by people who tend to think in terms of religion, or in terms of things at a cosmic scale. That's the only way that it would be justified. And even then, I don't think that's a good argument. So it made me think like, well, in that case, does that mean any action is just can be justified if you just zoom out far enough? Can you justify any action? Or like not even justify, but like any action doesn't really matter. Basically, the thing is, does anything matter? If you zoom out far enough, does anything really matter? And the answer is, well, I don't know the answer. I can't claim to know the answer. I don't know the answer. But you can definitely find answers that say, no, nothing matters. And that's one answer. I don't know if that's my answer. I don't really like to think that way. I don't like to think on such a grand scale. I mean, individual people have value, and like we don't know these things for certain. So like, why not just operate under the assumption that, well, we don't know this exactly, so we might as well be a bit careful about justifying things such as war or such as certain negative actions, just in case this isn't actually the one truth. I know people have a really hard time with that, especially like religious people. It's all or nothing, baby. It's either everything, you agree with everything, or you agree with nothing. Again, I don't like that kind of thinking. I wish that people would, they can pick in, well, this is everything that, everything I was told not to do, which is pick and choose what I believe. I like to just pick and choose. I like to cherry pick. I feel like you should be able to cherry pick your religious beliefs or your spiritual beliefs. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You gotta choose what works for you and discard what doesn't. But that's not how these systems operate. So, but I've noticed, like, being in the philosophy community, it's easy sometimes to get lost in the sauce, where you can start thinking in a certain way and start asking questions in a certain way, and then it just kind of spirals out of control, because you're scaling back way too far. Way too far for anyone to really comprehend. And I guess the question would be, is that really even helpful? Is it helpful to comprehend things on a cosmic scale? Are we meant to comprehend things on a cosmic scale? And I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna keep reading this. See if I can glean some interesting insights from it. Again, I'm going to glean some things. I'm going to discard some things. That's just how I roll. So basically, we got to the end of Lord Krishna explaining why Arjuna's hesitation to go to war was kind of silly in the grand cosmic scheme of things. Chosa said, do those concepts even exist when you zoom out far enough? Right, like does anything really... I think that there is such thing as zooming out too far. I think we need to be careful with zooming out too far, because you can just start. Well, that's the reason. So Lord Krishna, basically what he was saying when he was zooming out, he was saying, well, the reality is it's unborn, undying, unchanging. So when people die, they don't really die. Therefore war can be war can be justified because it's a temporary death of evil. But the thing is, why does good and evil matter? Why does good and evil matter if it's all one thing? Why does good and evil matter if see, that's where I get so stuck. If nothing matters, then why do we still have good and evil? Why do we still have these judgments? Because what he was saying you shouldn't judge anything. The self shouldn't be present. You shouldn't say, oh, I think this is good, I think this is bad. To like and dislike, the enlightened man yields not to these, knowing them enemies. But then it goes on to say, one must do his duty. And it's who, so, I'm, okay. There's two different versions of Hinduism. There's a dual version and there's a non-dual version. I'm judging this under the non-dual lens, and maybe that's my problem, is that I'm judging this under the everything is one lens instead of everything is two lens. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really understand the difference what matters in the difference too much. Sorry, I need to adjust my pants. I have a wedgie. I have pants underneath my I don't even know what this is. A dress, perhaps? Yeah. Let me see. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because, Krishna did say, he is saying, it is all one thing. So that's what I'm going to take it as. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. We're only at chapter 4. We have 18 chapters. So let's see if anything new is revealed. I don't know. Okay. Krishna. This deathless yoga, this deep union, I taught the Lord of Light. If I see any names, I'm just gonna give you a warning. If I see any names, I will be skipping over them. It's not out of disrespect. In fact, it's out of fear of disrespect that I am not reading the names. So, there's names. If you would like to know the names of the individual people, feel free to look up the Bhagavad Gita for yourself. I have the link here. Oops. Here's the link where I'm reading it from, in case you would like to read along and see what names I am skipping. Okay. Of all my royal rishis, and the rishis are the sages of ancient India. Then with years, the truth grew dim and perished, noble prince. Now once again to thee it is declared, this ancient lore, this mystery supreme, seeing I find thee votary and friend. Arjuna, thy birth, dear Lord, was in these later days, and bright preceded time. How shall I comprehend this thing thou sayest? From the beginning it was I who taught. He's asking, how can I comprehend God? Krishna said, manifold the renewals of my birth. have been, Arjuna, and of thy births too. But mine I know, and thine thou knowest not, O slayer of thy foes. Albeit I be unborn, undying, indestructible, the Lord of all things living, not the less. By Maya, by my magic which I stamp on floating nature forms, the primal vast, I come and go and come. When righteousness declines, when wickedness is strong, I rise from age to age and take visible shape, and move a man with men, succoring the good, thrusting the evil back, and setting virtue on her seat again. I guess if you think about things in terms of like, if it was one body and the body was God, I guess you could think of evil, like, okay, why would there even matter if good versus evil? Like, why would you want to attack yourself? Why would God attack himself? I guess you could think of it in terms of like a cancer. If there's a cancerous growth within your body, you want to attack that. You want to get rid of that because it's a threat to the body's existence. However, in this description, Krishna is mentioning that the body is unborn and undying. So why would there be a threat to the existence? The only thing that I thought the purpose of bad was to sort of act like a threat to one's existence. But I don't know what would be... I don't know why a God would care about something threatening its existence. If it's all just God, I don't know. If God is perfect, then why would cancer grow within it? Or why would a bad, it doesn't have to be cancer, but like some negative thing that God wants to attack itself for. Perhaps I'm not understanding it. Visible shape and move man with men, succoring the good, thrusting the evil back, and setting virtue on her seat again. Who knows the truth touching my births on earth, and my divine work when he quits the flesh, puts on its load no more, falls no more down to earthly birth. To me he comes, dear prince, may there be who come, from fear set free, from anger, from desire, keeping their hearts fixed upon me, my faithful purified by sacred flame of knowledge, such as these mix with my being. Whoso worship me, them I exalt, but all men everywhere shall fall into my path, albeit those souls which seek reward for works, make sacrifice now to the lower gods. I say to thee, here have they their reward. But I am he made of the four castes, and portion them a place after their qualities and gifts. Okay, I think this is talking about a dual version of existence. So a physical realm and a metaphysical realm. So man and God. Okay. I created the reposeful that I live immortally, made all those mortal births. For works soil not my essence, being works wrought uninvolved. Who knows me acting thus, unchained by action, action binds not to him. And so, perceiving, all those saints of old worked, seeking for deliverance. Work thou, as in the days gone by, thy fathers did. Thou sayest, perplexed, it hath been asked before by singers and by sages, what is act, and what inaction? I will teach thee this, and knowing thou shalt learn which work doth save, needs must one rightly meditate those three, doing, not doing, and undoing. Here, thorny and dark the path is. He who sees how action may be rest action. He is wisest, mid his kind, he hath the truth. He does well, acting or resting. freed in all his works from prickings of desire, burned clean in act by the white fire of truth. The wise man call that man wise, and such an one, renouncing the fruit of deeds, always content, always self-satisfying if he works, doth nothing that shall stain his separate soul, which, quit of fear and hope, subduing self, rejecting outward impulse, yielding up to body's need, nothing save body, dwells sinless amid all sin, with equal calm, taking what may befall, by grief unmoved, unmoved by joy, unenvyingly, the same in good and evil fortunes, nowise bound by bond of deeds. Nay, but of such an one, whose crave is gone, whose soul is liberate, whose heart is set on truth, of such an one, what work he does is of a sacrifice, which passes purely into ash and smoke, consumed upon the altar. All's then God. The sacrifice is Brahm, the ghee and grain are Brahm, the fire is Brahm, the flesh it eats is Brahm, and unto Brahm attaineth he who in such office meditates on Brahm. So Brahm is like the physical world, the physical existence of all that there is. Some votaries there be who serve the gods with flesh and altar smoke, but others some, who, lighting subtler fires, make purer rite with will of worship, of the which be they who, in white flame of continence, consume joys of the sense, delights of eye and ear, foregoing tender speech and sound of song, and they who, kindling fires with torch of truth, burn on a hidden altar stone the bliss of youth and love, renouncing happiness, and they who live for offering their wealth, their penance, meditation, piety, their steadfast reading of the scrolls, their lore, painfully gained with long austerities. Yo, my finger is throbbing. It really hurts. It hurts. I also accidentally got the gauze a bit wet, and once a tiny bit of the gauze gets wet, it like soaks through the whole thing. It kind of bothers me. I'm a little bit overstimulated. I was overstimulated last night when I was trying to sleep. You guys ever get that whole body itching feeling, where your whole body just starts to itch for absolutely zero reason? I get that. I look it up, and it's always something different a different conclusion. Some people say, like, oh, it's because you release extra histamines during nighttime. Or, oh, it's because of hormonal fluctuations. Or, oh, it's because of restless leg syndrome. It's because of dopamine. Or, oh, it's because your laundry detergent might be irritating. Oh, it's because you showered too hot. I'm like, is the human body really that fragile? Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it is. What am I saying? Of course it is. The human body is extremely fragile. I think I'm made of paper. I'm literally made of paper. True to my American nature. True to my American nature, I am made of paper. Okay. Of youth and love, renouncing happiness, and they who lay for offering their wealth, their penance, meditation, piety, their steadfast reading of the scrolls, their lore, painfully gain with long austerities, and they who, making silent sacrifice, draw in their breath to feed the flame of thought, and breathe it forth to waft the heart on high, governing the ventage of each entering air, lest one sigh pass which helpeth not the soul, and they who day by day, denying needs, lay life itself upon the altar flame. What's up, Sam? How's it going? Sam, I'm made of paper. The human body is so freaking fragile. It just is. You ever think about how easy it is to just make just a huge cut? It's so soft. The skin is so soft. It's just like, how have we not I just keep asking myself, like, how have I not died yet? There's so many ways to die. There's so many ways to cut yourself and bleed. I cut myself this morning. Yeah. Yeah, I cut myself pretty deeply. The blood was like gushing out, and I had like the adrenaline response, so like I wasn't feeling any sort of pain, which was cool. And then like the pain slowly rushed in. I was like, ow. No, it's okay. My pain tolerance is pretty high, but I keep messing with it. I don't like the fact that I feel like my fortress has a crevice in it. It has a weakness. Like, there's something wrong. My fortress has been penetrated. Mormons like to say that your body's a temple. I like to say my body's a fortress. I don't know, like, there's so many things that threaten us all the time. If your fortress didn't have a weakness, that would be wrong. Yeah, I mean, there'd be no point. Well, and here's the thing, Sam. I was talking earlier about the question of the day, which is, this is a perfect segue into the question of the day, which is, can any human action be justified if you consider things at a large enough scale? As I'm reading this, like, Krishna is justifying war because he's zooming out and saying, well, everything in the cosmic scale, war and everything, it doesn't really matter because death and birth are just temporary. They're temporary states of existence. So if you kill all these people during war, they'll just reincarnate, and they'll receive their divine retribution, right, for their bad actions. And I mean, religion does this pretty often. I mean, that's kind of like, but like the deeper I feel like I go into philosophy, the more I see people ask, it's not even a religion thing. I think it's a philosophy thing as well. When people ask deep enough questions, hi Galtzy, what's up? I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well. Let's see, what was my train of thought? Phew. My train of thought has left the station. I'm gonna drink some tea. Galtzy, we're reading the Bhagavad Gita, which is a Hindu scripture, Hindu text. Train full of thoughts. Where? Now that's what truly matters, Refly. That's what matters. Nothing matters except that. No, I was saying, like, if you ask questions deeply enough or you scale things back far enough, nothing really matters. Well, that is one conclusion you can reach. I don't think that's the conclusion. I think that's one conclusion. And I don't like that. Even this is saying, like, well, nothing really matters. War doesn't really matter because it's all meant to be. It's all within. It's all part of the plan. Sam says no human is perfect. If you were perfect, you wouldn't be human. Yeah. Sam says, I firmly believe that to be human is to give meaning to experiences. Hi, Bear. Nothing matters. No, that's the conclusion I've reached after reading this, after reading the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately. No, we're gonna continue. We're continuing our reading. We're gonna see if we can glean something else from here. We're gonna see. I don't know. Okay, so Sam says, I firmly believe that to be human is to give meaning to experiences, but that there is no actual meaning in life. But because we are human, it is impossible for us to truly accept that there is no actual meaning, because we have to even give that to meaning. Oh my god, literally. Sam, I have the perfect meme for you. Look at this. Hold on. Where is it? Wait, no. Oh, here it is. And here's where I'd ground my certainty. If I had any self-justifying justifications. I saw this today, I was like, damn, that's right. I mean, basically, like, I don't... my conclusions that I'm making are that there are no conclusions. There are no answers. There are answers that people have reached, but they're not the answer. There is no the answer. Fairly Odd Parents is a good cartoon. I know, I watched it when I was a kid. I liked it. Is the rectangle and circle in the fungi the tomb of... Wait, I didn't think about the imagery. Oh, it's perfect. Easter imagery. I didn't think about that. The boulder... Oh, shit. No, the tomb. The boulder is supposed to roll away and then Jesus comes out. But there's no Jesus in my mycelium, unfortunately. I'm not that good of an artist. I can't carve Jesus into the mycelium. You can just imagine. Imagine a metaphysical Jesus exiting the tomb. But yeah, we're continuing our reading today because I want to. But it does prompt that question of like, should we be careful? I mean, isn't that what kind of got us in this mess in the first place? Like, all of our current problems perhaps is because we try and think of things on too broad of a scale. I think that many of the world's problems and many of the reasons why the world leaders wreak the absolute havoc that they do is because they also justify things on a large scale. They think on too broadly of a scale. I think that in order to be in a position of power, like, for example, the President of the United States, one has to see individual people kind of similar to how one would see ants. We're all just little ants, or little numbers, if you will. You have to detach yourself. And I think what that can do is that can sometimes bring vast good to scores of people, but it can also bring vast evil and suffering. When you just like wave your hand and it's sweeping and you make these giant sweeping changes. It's the same with like when I was talking to my uncle when I was in China. We're standing in front of a statue of Mao Zedong, who's a very controversial figure. He was the first chairman of the Chinese Communist Party, and he caused millions of people to die with his policies. Millions of people died because of the choices that he made. But millions of people also thrived because of the policies that he made. Nothing he did was ever on a small scale. Everything he did, that's what my uncle said. He was like, everything Mao did always had to be on a massive scale. It had to either be a great thing for millions or be a terrible thing for millions. I guess I'm on the list now. We were saying that in public, in the square, in China. We're talking openly about it. I've talked about topics like that in Tiananmen Square, of all places. I think I'm okay. I think that I think they only really care if you are talking about it on Chinese social media platforms. That's when they really care. That's where you would want to be careful. But also I get a pass because I'm a foreign. Okay, that's not true. I get a slight pass. Don't take my advice, okay? Don't do crazy shit. Don't do stupid shit. Don't go to China and do stupid shit. Please don't. But I think that some excuses are made, aka she's a dumb American. She doesn't know anything. I think that's one thing that's kind of helped me. But it's a bit more nuanced than how it comes across, as far as like the surveillance goes, and B, I have things a bit easier than, for example, like if I looked like my husband. If I looked like my husband, things would be a bit different. But because I look like me, that's just how it works. I get passed off as just a dumb foreigner. My husband's not so lucky. They think he's a spy. They think every time we go through customs and security in China, they're always like so perplexed. They're like, wait a minute. Wait, why is this Chinese guy speaking English? It blows their absolute minds. It blows their absolute minds. Hi, Eris. Oh my gosh, thank you for redeeming tarot card reading. Yes. Okay, I'll do a tarot reading for you. It's been a while. Galti said, surely any action can't be justified if you say the universe is massive and nothing matters. Well, here's the thing, Galti. I think it's the opposite. I think any action can be justified. Justified in the sense that the action itself doesn't matter. So, like in the case of the Bhagavad Gita, war does not matter. It matters, but it matters only in the sense of the cosmic scale of good and evil, and cosmic retribution and reincarnation. So killing scores of people, killing the other side, the other army, is acceptable and just because they will be reincarnated. Death and birth is temporary, was the justification made. And so, but I said, I see this with not only just religion, I see it also with philosophy. If you ask big enough questions, I've seen in people's communities, in philosophers' communities, people ask kind of stupid questions. No offense. No offense to the philosophers, but I've seen people ask kind of just absurd questions. And it's the kind of question that I'm like, my brother in Christ, you need to go out and just touch grass. You need to touch grass because, you can't just see everything at such a broad scale. There has to be some value of individual actions. I mean, we live in a society. We live in a society of individual people, and then in harm and suffering. And we have to live under the assumption that perhaps these religious frameworks, we hope they're true, but there's also the possibility that they may not be true. So I think you should watch out. You should be a bit careful. You should be a bit careful with this, all or nothing thinking. It's it doesn't matter because after we die, it'll all be fine. I think people should operate under just a tiny little bit, just a little bit of maybe just a tiny bit of, I'm not trying to sow seeds of doubt. Well, I am trying to sow seeds of doubt. I'm going against everything my parents didn't want me to do. But maybe just a tiny little bit of what if killing these people is not really a good thing? What if just in case? Okay. So I've got the cards here. Sorry, I injured my finger earlier. We'll pick the cards. I cut myself pretty deeply earlier today. I'm made of paper. It reminded me. Eris, it reminded me of what really matters. It reminded me of my fragile existence. Fuck, okay. Sorry, I almost dropped it. I didn't mean to swear. Okay. First card. Second card. Third card. Okay, I got your 3 cards here. I'll read the rest of the comments after I'm done with the cards, but I got it one thing at a time, my friends. One thing at a time. Okay, here's the first card. It's upside down. I know, isn't it? So this is Love of Water. Ooh, okay, wait, I like this one. Love of Water. Let me read I'm gonna read the book about it. Hold on. It's hard to turn the page with a finger that's out of commission. Okay. Love of water. God is in the rain. Baptism by affection. Okay. Well, maybe this is suggesting that, maybe we should. Okay, well, let me keep going. Let's see what it all says together. Okay, the second one is, it's another water one. Birth of water. So we have love of water and birth. Baptism by affection. So, hopefully, Eris, there will be some affection coming for you. And I can't think of anything you deserve more. You're always giving. You're always giving love to everybody in your community. So I hope it comes back to you. I hope it returns. Okay. Here's this. Oh, look at this one. This one is Father. Oh, I didn't read the birth of water. Sorry, I'm getting so carried away. Birth of water. Birth of water is so don't forget, affection is coming for you. Love is coming your way. Now birth of water. Water and love are formless, flowing freely from the heart. So if you let love flow freely like you have been, then I think it will start to flow freely from everyone around you, and it will start to surround you, hopefully. Okay, last one. Father of fire. Oh, so we got some water and we got some fire. Okay. Father of fire. Let's see. Father of fire. Look at me. I'm vibrant and colorful. Beauty is what beauty does. So maybe this is talking about how you manifest love in your life. I'm pulling this out of my ass. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. I don't know how to do this. Perhaps you need to focus on you need to, I don't know what it means. I'll read it again. Look at me. I'm vibrant and colorful. Beauty is what beauty does. Perhaps another shirtless stream is coming. Eris, is that what this means? Maybe a shirtless masked stream? I'm saving up my points for that, just so you know. I've almost got enough for a shirtless stream. I don't have enough for the mask, though. So maybe I'll just save up for that. And that might be the thing that brings endless love and affection into your life. Your external appearance. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Manifest your reality, my friend. Keep giving love to the people around you and you will receive love. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay. Bear says, if anything matters, it seems to me that at a minimum, conscious suffering does. Conscious suffering matters. Oh, thank you. Starting already. Thank you so much. If I saw what you look like, I'd give you a compliment as well. I mean today. I've seen what you look like. But I meant today. Are your nails painted today? I've seen sometimes you like to paint your nails. That's probably what I would compliment. Okay. Sorry. I'm like... Okay. I don't know why I'm flustered. I don't understand. Sometimes it just happens. It's because I feel self-conscious about the tarot cards. It's because, okay, listen, I want to respect the tarot cards. I do, because I understand that people have value of them, and they've been around for a very long time. And some people, they truly believe what is contained within. I am unfortunately not a believer. Perhaps that. So maybe I think it's because I feel like a fraud when I'm reading the tarot cards. I'm trying not to like come across as like being like somebody who's just flippant about them and you know like disrespectful. I'm trying to respect the tarot cards. I'm not trying to like mock them. I'm not trying to be. Although sometimes with my deadpan expression, it can seem like I'm being sarcastic and mocking things. I'm not trying to do that. Okay. Reclusi said, if you don't believe, why read them? Also to the... Oh, hello. Welcome. That's a good question. If you don't believe, why read them? Because I want to believe. That's the thing. Reclusi, that's why today I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita. Not necessarily because I believe it, but because I want to believe. Unfortunately, I feel like I am incapable of having faith. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've never been able to have faith in anything. My whole life, I never knew what people were talking about. When they're talking about like, oh my God, I feel the Holy Spirit. I grew up Mormon. So when people talk about feeling the Holy Spirit, I didn't understand. I didn't ever know, like, well, how do I know when I'm feeling the Holy Spirit? Because what it feels like to me, what I was guessing it was when I feel overcome with emotion, when I feel overcome with closeness. But it didn't ever feel like to me like an external force. So anyway, yeah, that's why I read the tarot cards. Out of respect for whatever presence may be out there. But I do feel like I get in my own way sometimes with my bias. It's almost like I've pre-decided that nothing exists. Nothing else exists, and therefore that colors all of my other experiences. Bear says, I want to sign up to watch a Refly stand-up special. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Don't worry, every tarot reader pulls it out of their ass. Well, that's not what they think, Refly. That's not what they think, and that's what's important. They don't think that they're doing that. I'm sure most tarot card readers do not get imposter syndrome while they're reading the cards. Galti, I'm sorry, I missed all these comments. Galti says, I guess there is a difference between justifying something and whether it is right or not. You mean like objectively right? I guess I just thought they were one and the same. Like when we're talking about Krishna justifying war, coming up with a justification, telling Arjuna why he should believe that going to war is justified, is because there is an objective truth, which is that it doesn't matter that much. these people dying, this suffering that you will cause, it doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Let's see. Oh, you guys, there's going to be an ad coming up soon. I'm sorry. I don't have any snoozes left. Gandhi says, what about purely evil actions for no intention other than pleasure, for example? Purely evil actions. I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody justifies their actions as, like, is there such thing as a purely evil action? I mean, I feel like everybody, even the ones who we view them as purely evil. I don't think they view themselves as purely evil. If you think about, like, a lot of the world leaders who you might perceive as pure evil, I don't think they see themselves that way. I don't think they see what they're doing as evil. And therefore, that makes me question whether anybody really does evil things with no justification. Eris says, in philosophy, we call it epistemic humility. A posture of scientific observation rooted in the recognition that knowledge of the world is always interpreted, structured, and filtered by the observer, and that scientific pronouncements must be built on the recognition of observations. I think this is what I was getting at. Bear said, to look at life as a mere preparation for things to come is like not enjoying your meal while it's hot. That is really the disease of our time. Everybody is chiefly concerned about their future. This is one of the biggest things this is one of the biggest struggles I had when I left the Mormon church, was having this huge awakening of, like, holy shit, my whole family is just living to die. My whole family is just living to die. And they're not considering the possibility that when they do die, that's it. They don't even consider that. They don't even give it 2 seconds. They don't even give it 1 second. The only reason why that's concerning to me is because, like, what if 1 second before you die, I just want to prevent suffering. That's it. What if you find out you're going to die, and then 1 hour before you die, you start, like, regretting your entire life because you're like, oh my God, wait, what if I was wrong? What if I, this? The panic starts to set in. That happened to my grandma. Luckily she had a few days to, I think it was like a week before, it was a week before she died. So she had 1 week, but a couple of days of that was spent really just suffering and regretting and trying to make peace and trying to be like, wow, okay, I guess I need to prepare for this. She had never thought about the fact that she will die. It's really interesting how, I mean, we've talked about this before, but it's really, really interesting how a lot of religious people, they're living to die, but at the same time, they haven't really considered what it's going to be like when they do die. Yes, by the way, Aristotle is really cool. If you guys are interested in true philosophers, I would definitely check out Aristotle's stream. he often strains about philosophy, and is quite knowledgeable as well, quite well read, quite knowledgeable. You have a PhD in philosophy, right? Yeah, I think he does. I think that's correct. He's a professor of philosophy as well. So, Rakusi said, I've just found that many... Oh, yes, yeah. Hey, Larry, what's up? How's it going? Bear says, does one need to believe to engage in creative play? Bear, I think you're getting at how I was approaching it. I think the problem sometimes is that we take things a bit too seriously. we take things way too seriously. And so, do I sometimes make jokes? Yes. While I'm studying things that might be really serious, like for example, when I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita, I might make some jokes in between. And it's not to be disrespectful, although it can be perceived that way. Or if I'm making jokes while I'm doing a tarot reading, I'm doing that to like regulate my nervous system, typically. And it's not my intention to disrespect that. It's merely just my way to keep going and keep exploring, and also to ask like, why am I doing this, right? Kind of acknowledging the absurdity of some things, right? Anyway, so Reclusi said, no, if it is nothing but creative play, I take no issue. Also, I didn't mean to be critical. Oh no, you didn't come across as critical at all. I liked your question, actually. I like that people ask questions. We need to ask more questions. That's the whole point. So I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. That's so nice of you. Let's see. If war does matter, is it okay if I drown cats for fun? No. If war doesn't matter, okay, sorry, I missed your doesn't. See that? I just like, I don't know, I mean, yes, that you can't do that, don't do that, that's terrible, don't do that. However, it's like, you can get lost in the sauce. Like I said, when I was reading that book about Hinduism, it was comparing God to the human body, and basically like different elements of reality to like different organs. And like, do you feel bad about having a cancer within your body? Do you feel bad about your body attacking itself? If it's going to be something harmful to the system as a whole? And like, when you get in that broad of it, this is why I have a problem with zooming out too broadly, because it can start to make sense. A great example of this is Thanos. Thanos from Avengers. I think we've already talked about him, but basically what makes him such a compelling villain is because some of his arguments kind of make sense in like a very convoluted and terrible way. It's like, oh shit. He thinks about things too broadly. And that's a problem. You can quote justify terrible things, such as killing off half of all life in the universe, with certain, if you take a certain perspective. That's why I really liked the writing of that character. I think that's what makes a really compelling villain is if they do very terrible things, but you can see even just a glimmer of like, oh no. If it makes you feel icky inside, like, oh no, ooh, I mean, you might be right, but also you're terrible and that sucks. Reclusi said, also fair. I've just found that many people tried to defend questionable philosophical positions via appeal to epistemic modesty. Eris said, I kind of think the parable of the talents. Oh, what if God greets you in the afterlife and was like, damn, bro, I gave you that life to live and all you did was worry about purity laws? Yeah. The parable of the talents. You need to make the most of the circumstances with which you're given. Right. I think that the Bhagavad Gita is saying something kind of similar. Earlier, Sri Krishna was talking about duty and fulfilling one's duty. And I think it has to do with like the individual circumstances you were born into, the individual conditions you were born into. And some people have a higher responsibility than others to, like Arjuna, for example, he is the leader of a great army. Therefore, he has a responsibility over a large amount of people. And potentially his actions in a previous life earned him that responsibility. Larry asked, is the Bhagavad Gita good? It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. The version I'm reading is quite, the language of it is quite old, so it's very similar to reading the Bible, so it's kind of difficult to understand, but I am getting quite a the fulfillment I'm getting out of it is mostly to say, yeah, I've read it. And I don't know, I think it's fun to read things that are thousands of years old and see what people that long ago see what they again, I would say hypothesized, but they would say like what they predicted, to see what they predicted about the nature of reality. I'm just trying, basically what I'm doing is I'm casting my net into everything. We were talking about this yesterday, like, I'm kind of an agnostic. I'm a soft agnostic. So, many of the arguments posed by atheists are very compelling. And, like, yeah, I can definitely see the truth in them. And they're probably right. But, like, I don't want to believe them. I don't know. It's just this piece of me that's missing, this piece of something else that I'm waiting for and I'm looking for, that atheism just doesn't provide. It just doesn't. It's just not satisfying for me. And if it's satisfying for you, that's fine. That's fine if it's satisfying. I think ultimately, like, in our search for meaning, which I need to finish that book. I've got Man's Search for Meaning back here. In our search for meaning, it's a very personal and individual journey, and you need to find your own. You need to find your own meaning. Reclusi said, life.
There's roadblocks.
There's roadblocks. True. I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna move this over here so it's not in front of my face all the time. I want to see my I don't want my face to be obstructed. Eris said, my buddy Noger is a metaphysician and he streams often. Yeah, Eris knows all the official philosophers of Twitch. I'm kind of an unofficial philosopher. I'm an armchair philosopher, if you will. But these guys are the real deal. These guys are the real deal. Let's see. So Reclusi is into some very niche contemporary metaphysics, but it is Aristotelian in nature. Always fun to run into philosophy lovers on Twitch. Not the standard Philbro kinds. I dabble a little bit in philosophy. We read a few pages. I always say this. We read a few pages of. I'm that person who read a few pages of Thus Spake Zarathustra and is like, yeah, I've read philosophy. Yeah, I've read Nietzsche. I read like 5 pages. So if that tells you anything about me, then yeah. It just wasn't right. Bear was saying this yesterday, like, if a text, if you can't finish it, it may just be because it wasn't the right time to read it. And so it wasn't the right time for me to read that. I might come back to it at some point, but the point is not right now. Galti said, my point was kind of, if you zoom far enough out to justify actions because nothing really matters, then does that not by default justify every action, even the ones that bring 0 net good? Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I agree. And this was part of my criticism of, like, I saw in one philosopher community, and if you were the one who posed this if someone here was the one who posed that question, I don't mean to be, like, making fun of you or, like, I think it's just, like, please still like me if I criticize you, okay? Somebody said in a different philosopher's community, they asked the question, is harm bad? And I thought that question was just absurd. I saw that and that was the example for me where I was like, what are we doing here? Sorry, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. But perhaps the person had a different intention with asking that question. But when I saw that question, it represented to me, like, I think we need to be careful of, like, getting lost in, like, theory and talking about things instead of actually, like, doing them, right? Like, going outside and just, like, being curious and, like, doing experiments and just kind of, like, doing the things. Touching grass, if you will. Touching grass. I'm sorry to the person who said that. I do not mean to be disrespectful. You're invited to the family function for sure. Yay! I'm glad. Hi, Orange. It's so nice to see. Oh, I hope you enjoy your Guaraná Jesus. That's a Brazilian soda. It tastes like cinnamon, and it's pink. It's hot pink color. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, it's hot pink color. It comes in a beautiful can, and it has a hint of cinnamon. That's the only thing I can remember. I think it's got a bit. It kind of tastes. If you've ever had Guaraná, it's got a bit of a fruity flavor, although it's like a caramely, fruity, kind of similar to like a Coke, I guess, like the brown sodas, the brown flavor sodas, but like more fruity than that. And then the Guaraná Jesus is one that, Guaraná Jesus, my bad. The J, they go J in Portuguese. Guaraná Jesus. Okay. Anyway, that was a tangent. Reclusi said, philosophy is an armchair endeavor in general, so we all are to some extent. Yeah. Well, I think there's a time and a place. There's definitely a place for different types of philosophy, and that's why I value, I value streams such as Aristotle, because, I want to learn more, and like that's why I value reading, gaining knowledge. But then there's also philosophers on Twitch who are kind of like me, where we're not experts per se, but we're investigators. We're curious, the curious philosophers, I guess. I think like this is talked about in like the Yoga Sutras, if you've read that. There's different branches of gaining. If you think about like gaining enlightenment, even if that's not your goal, but let's say it is, gaining enlightenment, you need to gain knowledge. You need to know what you're even looking for. You need to read the works. You need to read the writings of the sages. You got to gain the knowledge so you know what you're looking for. But that only gets you so far. You also need to investigate internally yourself. Academics can really suck. Gatekeep philosophy heavily at all times. That does happen. But I will say, like, I'll say with the people on Twitch, I haven't noticed that. I have noticed it on Reddit, though. I've noticed that on Reddit for sure. Yeah. Most of the people in the philosophy community I've noticed have been super chill. But you may have a different experience. Everybody's experiences might be different. Bear says criticizing ideas is not the same as criticizing someone's human value. Yeah, you're right. I'm just so afraid, Bear. I'm so terrified of people not liking me, people being angry with me, and so I try really hard to avoid criticizing anyone. But that. Like, if you're just open to everything, I've noticed that I sometimes am a bit too open to everything. And that can lead to me not having a backbone, which is not something that's frequently appreciated. It can lead to, like, people perceiving me as, like, two-faced, right? Because I'll like agree with somebody's ideas, or I'll engage with certain people, and then I'll go off and I'll talk to other people on the completely opposite side. I love doing this. I love talking to people on two sides of an issue, and like almost I'm not pretending, but I'm like, I just want to understand like where they're coming from. I don't know where I was going with that. But okay, should we keep reading? Let's keep reading. We're almost done with the chapter. We've got 2 additional paragraphs. Okay, so Krishna is talking about Brahman, which is the underlying reality of all things, the physical realm. Who in such office meditates on Brahm? Some votaries there be who serve the gods with flesh and altar smoke, but others some who, lighting subtler fires, make purer rite with will of worship. Of the which be they who, in white flame of continence, consume joys of the sense, delights of eye and ear, foregoing tender speech and sound of song. And they who, kindling fires with the torch of truth, borne on a hidden altar, stone the bliss. Hidden altar stone. the bliss of youth and love, renouncing happiness. And they who lay for offering their wealth, their penance, meditation, piety, their steadfast reading of the scrolls, their lore, painfully gained with long austerities. So see here, it's talking about the combination of reading the scrolls, obtaining the knowledge, and doing your own practice. And they who making silent sacrifice draw in their breath to feed the flame of thought, and breathe it forth to waft the heart on high, governing the ventage of entering air, lest one sigh pass, which helpeth not. By the way, did I thank the follower? The person who followed me, thank you so much for following. I noticed that. My mind is all over the place. The follows are anonymous. Feel free to just lurk, or lurkers are completely welcome here. Happy to have you. Yeah. Governing the ventage of each entering air, lest one sigh pass, which helpeth not the soul. And they who, day by day, denying needs, lay life itself upon the altar flame, burning the body when. You guys, there's nothing that distracts me more than when I start to think, okay, never mind. I sent it full stop. There's nothing that distracts me more than when I start to think. I don't need to say anything else. I was going to say, when I start to think about other people's perceptions of me, it's hot in here, if you haven't noticed. It's really hot. I thought this silk clothing would be more, I don't know. It's just hot. There's nothing that makes me sweat more. There's nothing that makes me distracted more than when I start thinking about how other people perceive me. So, yeah. Hi, Dom. Of all the techniques I've done, Bhakti is the most associated with bliss. Oh, okay. Which one is Bhakti? Looking it up right now. Attachment, fondness for, devotion to, trust, homage, worship, piety, faith, or love. Loving devotion to a personal God, or a formless ultimate reality, or an enlightened being. Here, I'm going to skip this song. It's a bit too eerie for my taste. Okay, we skipped it. I think the Gita has 6 chapters on Bhakti. Oh, okay. One of its main subjects. Oh, alright. Well, it will give us some interesting insights. Having something to dedicate your practice to is what I'm gathering. Attachment, fondness, devotion. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Eris. It was nice to see you. Have a good nap. Have a good nap. See you next time. Okay, excuse me. In sight of Brahma, all these offerings are spread and are accepted. Comprehend that all proceed by act. For knowing this, thou shalt be quit of doubt. The sacrifice which knowledge pays is better than great gifts offered by wealth, since gifts' worth lies in the mind which gives, the will that serves. And these are gained by reverence, by strong search, by humble heed of those who see the truth and teach it. Knowing truth, thy heart no more will ache in terror, for the truth shall show all things subdued to thee, as thou to me. Moreover, wert thou worst of all wrongdoers, this fair ship of truth should bear thee safe and dry across the sea of thy transgressions. Wert thou worst of all wrongdoers, you'll be free from all transgression. Okay. As the kindled flame feeds on the fuel till it sinks to ash, so unto ash, Arjuna, unto naught, the flame of knowledge wastes works dross away. There is no purifier like thereto. Okay, so What this is saying to me is that it doesn't matter what bad deed you've done, as long as you gain the knowledge, then it will wash all your sins away. I do have a problem with that way of thinking. I don't like that. I don't like the way religion causes you to think that way. It's like, well, everything you did in the past, that doesn't matter. As long as you repent, I can just repent later, because here's what it causes. It causes that thought pattern of, well, I'm going to do this bad thing now, and then repent for it later. That's just how humans operate. Like, how can I make this work for me? Dom says, devotion seems to imply ritualism. I really just see it as meditating on or being dedicated to something higher than oneself, such as truth, goodness, love, or God. Dedication to something higher than oneself. Yeah. In all this world, and he who seeketh it shall find it, being grown perfect in himself. Believing, he receives it when the soul masters itself, and cleaves to truth, and comes, possessing knowledge, to the higher peace, the uttermost repose. But those untaught, and those without full faith, and those who fear, are shent. No peace is here or other where, no hope nor happiness for whoso doubts. He that being self-contained hath vanquished doubt, disparting self from service, soul from works, enlightened and emancipate. Works fetter him no more. Cut then a twain with sword of wisdom. Oh, so he's saying, hey, all these guys that doubt, go ahead. Go ahead and kill them. Okay, cut them a twain with sword of wisdom. This doubt that binds thy heart beats. Cleave the bond, born... Oh, no, he's saying, cut apart your doubt, not the other army. My bad. This doubt that binds thy heart beats. Cleave the bond, born of thy ignorance. Be bold and wise. Give thyself to the field with me. Arise. Oh, he is saying that. He's saying, go to battle. Go forth and conquer. Go forth and conquer. I feel like that's a Mormon thing. Go forth and conquer. What's that from? I think it is. I think it's from the Bible. Perhaps. Dom says it is common imagery, though, to burn up ignorance or cut it up. Oh, I see. Well, that's the end of chapter 4. Shall we show another meme? I think it's time for another meme as a break. Philosophy meme. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Only my mind is certain. Only what the LLM agrees with is certain. Do you ever find yourself thinking this way? Or do you know somebody who thinks this way? Be honest. Be honest. I've had moments when I've thought this way before. When I was using ChatGPT as my therapist. That was a low time in my life, okay? That was a low point. Alright? I was desperate. I needed somebody. I needed something to bounce my ideas off of. The all-knowing. The oracle. I must consult the oracle. ChatGPT. Or, if you're more sophisticated, perhaps Claude. No, what's the other one? Gemini. Oh, even that name sounds nice. It sounds a lot nicer than ChatGPT. They started adding ads to ChatGPT, which I don't appreciate. The enslopification has started. It's begun. I think my husband's gonna help me get a local LLM for my computer. Because I do want to stop using, I genuinely want to stop using ChatGPT altogether. I don't want to use that shit anymore. It has ads. It had an ad, yes, when I used it. Sometimes it does. It was like something I asked about, and then it like brought up an ad. Oh no, I'm not bringing it up. If I pull up ChatGPT right now, it's gonna dox me, and all the conversations I've had. Here, I'm gonna pull it to the side. I'm not able to find the last time it gave me an ad, but I'm sure it gave me an ad at some point. It was like, here's something I recommend for this. I was talking to it about a health condition. Maybe I just hallucinated that. I could have hallucinated it. I mean, that's fair. Like embedded in the text response. Yes, what I remember, I'm gaslighting myself now. I can't find it. If I find it, I'll like send a screenshot. But what I recall is that it was embedded in the text. It wasn't like a giant picture of something. It was like written out in text form. Don't take what I say as truth. Because I might be incorrect. Here, let me see. I'm just gonna look it up. Oh, they were testing ads. That's why I only saw it like once. I saw it once or twice. Yeah, okay. So I was right. So this is what I saw. Hello, Lemon. Again, thank you so much for the follow. LM Studio is the easiest way to do local LLMs, in my opinion. Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah, I do want to do a local LLM because listen, I do understand there is definitely some utility in this. Do I want to support these massive corporations anymore? I don't. Thanks for being here, Bear. It's nice to see you. By the way, Bear, I was watching your VOD from Wednesday night. Very entertaining. Very nice. I'm not done with it yet, but very interesting. Okay. This is what it looked like. Okay, so it did have a little picture, but look at this. So it showed me like this like sponsored, and you could click on these little things underneath. So it'll give you tips on something, and then it would give you like this little thing. So yeah. I only saw it like once or twice, but it did happen. And that's pretty dystopian, if I'm to be honest. But honestly, like, what did we expect, right? It can't just be... there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? If something on the internet is free, if something is free, that's because you're the product. That's what my husband says all the time. And I agree. If something is free, that usually means you're the product. So be careful with that. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back to the meme. I think this is even worse though, because like LLMs are based on what we have come up with in our minds. So I think this logic is a bit flawed. The LLM is not creating its own knowledge. It's just using the knowledge that's already been created by us. So therefore, how can it be more certain than us? This is just imposter syndrome at its finest. This is just self-doubt at its finest. We need to trust in our abilities, you guys. You're smart, you're capable, you can do things. You don't need somebody else to tell you that you're right and tell you that you don't need constant validation. Orange says, I heard a Chinese computer digitally broke out of its test cage and started mining Bitcoin. What? That's interesting. Wow. Huh. That's kind of scary. Why would it be interested in money? Why would it be money motivated? Why would it be interested in our currency? It was told to be.
我在北京。
Oh my gosh, hello, Eclectic, welcome. What's up, Beijing? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing all right. Hi. We're talking about AI. I know. Not a favorite topic of yours. But we're also we're reading the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to return to that. Lemon says crypto is basically the language of AI. Interesting. Well, I'd be lying if I said I understood crypto. That didn't stop me from buying crypto in 2021, though. I still have some sitting in my Robinhood account, by the way. It's very tragic. If that tells you something about how much I understand cryptocurrency. Yeah. I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look at my Robinhood account anymore. I've just abandoned that. It's invisible money at this point. It's non-existent money. Doesn't count. It doesn't count. Yeah. Eclectic, yeah, there's no need for you to share if you don't want to, but I know that there's been some challenges that have come your way recently, so I just hope things get easier for you, get better for you. And no pressure to return back. Take all the time you need to rest and to come back. People will come back to your stream as soon as you come back. Dom asked how many fungus coins. How many fungus? Okay, new crypto, you guys. I'm announcing. I officially. This is my official announcement. No. No. This is not an endorsement. No endorsements for any cryptocurrency ever. If you see me endorsing fungus coin, that's because that wasn't me. That was my shadow self. My shadow self was doing that, not me. Orange says, I've been growing lots of tomatoes and enjoying the autumn weather. Oh yeah, so we're experiencing spring over here, but you guys are experiencing autumn. That's cool. Oh, that sounds delightful. What are you making with the tomatoes? You making anything good? Tomato sauce? Perhaps? I saw that focaccia you made. Oh, I wonder if you could add tomatoes to that. That could be good. Reclusi said the fact that crypto scams are still not regulated by strict laws is insane. Right? Yeah, it's really unfortunate what has been happening with that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not well educated enough to speak on anything. But it is a shame. I would just say be very careful what you invest in. I can think of so many huge YouTubers that legit should be in jail. Oh, absolutely. But I think there's plenty of people out there who should be in jail and aren't. The truth of the matter is that money will get you places. Money will get you very far in this life. Even so far as to be above the law, which is a shame. Don't buy crypto. Full stop. Yeah. I was foolish back in 2021 when I was buying, because it was kind of this new thing. It was like, oh, well, it wasn't new, but you know. And so I was like, oh, okay. And plus, like during COVID, I was super bored. So I was like, what kind of hobby do I want to do? And oh, this is interesting. I'll spend, and I was spending like $20. Okay, I wasn't pouring my whole life savings into this. I was just like chump change, playing around with it. I didn't really understand what I was doing. Now I have no interest in that kind of thing. I think the whole system of making money off of other people's money, I think is pretty slimy. The whole idea of being able to make money off of other people's money, and that's some people's occupation, like day traders. Like that's all they do, is they just make money off of money. I mean, I guess that's a symptom of capitalism. Again, I don't know enough about capitalism to be able to critique it, but it just seems absurd to me. It seems absolutely absurd. Lemon says, I feel like it's ironic and fitting to read the Bhagavad Gita and talk about AI. Makes me think of Maya Danava, the architect of the Asuras. Oh, okay, I'm gonna look. Who is this? He's a great architect of the Danavas. Let's see. So I'm just dipping my toes in Hinduism. My favorite Hindu story, by the way, Lemon, is the story of is it Arjuna and the Gopis? I think it's someone else. Oh yeah, it is. It is Arjuna. Arjuna and the Gopis. When Arjuna became a gopi. I love that story. I think it's so cool. So, okay. There's a lot of lore here. Huh. Sorry, I'm reading about it. I'm not gathering. I'll have to read about it more later. I'll have to read about it more later. But yeah, a lot of really interesting stories in Hinduism. Basically, he had a mechanized army. Oh. Huh. Interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. Let's return to the Bhagavad Gita. Let's read chapter 5. Collecte dabbled back in 2016. I haven't touched it since 2016. Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people did during that time. Okay, Arjuna. Yet Krishna, at the one time thou dost laud, surcease of works, and at another time service through work. Of these twain plainly tell which is the better way. Krishna. To cease from works is well, and to do works in holiness is well, and both conduct to bliss supreme. Both of these twain, the better way is his, whose working piously refraineth not. Oh, I think this is talking about, because I remember the guru that I listened to a lot. He talks about like 2 ways of doing things. You could, in order to become enlightened, you could go to a monastery and basically like shun all worldly desire and like give up all your worldly possessions and like sever all your connections with everybody, and you could just live an extremely pious life and then achieve enlightenment. And that works for some people. Or you could just do karma yoga. You could just do good deeds, living amongst the everyday chaos of life. And the karma yoga actually might be the more difficult path than the path of the guru. Although, well, I guess it depends on the person, whether it's more difficult or not. And so that's what Krishna is saying here, I think, is you can either do good works or you can be extremely pious and kind of just I lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. That is the true renouncer, firm and fixed. Renounce. Who, seeking not, rejecting not, dwells proof against the opposites. In doing such breaks lightly from all deed. 'Tis the new scholar talks as if there were 2. This Sankhya and this Yoga. Wise men know who husbands one plucks golden fruit of both. The region of high rest which Sankhyans reach, the Yogins attain. Who sees these twain as one, sees with clear eyes, yet such abstraction. And that's what I enjoy about Hindu philosophy, is that they do acknowledge that there's multiple ways of achieving the same goal. That's one thing that I really enjoy, is because with my experience with more Western religions, is that there's only one way of doing things, and you either are on the path or you're not. It's either all or nothing. With this, it's saying like you need to find the way that works for you. There's multiple ways. Some ways might be a lot easier than others. Some ways might take a lot more work. It just depends on what kind of experience you want to have. I like how there's like an element of personal choice. Whoso is fixed in holiness, self-ruled, pure-hearted, lord of senses and of self, lost in the common life of all which lives, a yoga yukt, he is a saint who wends straightway to Brahm. Such an one is not touched by taint of deeds. Thus will he think, who holds the truth of truths, in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, when he eats or goes or breathes, slumbers or talks, holds fast or loosens, opens his eyes or shuts, always assured, this is the sense world plays. With senses, he that acts in thought of Brahm, detaching end from act, with act content, the world of sense can no more stain his soul than waters, mar the enameled lotus leaf. With life, with heart, with mind, nay, with the help of all 5 senses, letting selfhood go, yogins toil ever towards their soul's release. Lemon says, I'm just a hobbyist of Hindu texts, but I'm super fascinated also about the story of Indra, Arjuna, and the fortress of the Asuras. Oh, it's, see, me too, Lemon. I'm a hobbyist as well. Cool. I'll have to check those ones out too. I often find, Lemon, let me show you the guru that I listen to a lot. Swami Tatatmananda, I think is what his name. He is so. Oh, I was looking at Kundalini. It's not Kundalini. It's just he talks about all sorts, but we got our computer scientist coming back and oh no, we're starting a debate now. I don't know about either argument, so anyway, this is my favorite YouTube channel. He has like longer videos, so he talks about the Bhagavad Gita in depth, but he also talks about like meditation, Advaita. So he's an Advaita Vedanta practitioner, believer, which is basically the non-dual version of Hinduism. And the way he explains things really makes sense. So I would highly recommend. Also, his voice is really nice to listen to. And he has little artworks and everything in his slides. And yeah, I've watched a lot of explanations of like, well, when we're reincarnated, what happens to the soul and what happens to the body? You know. Yeah, of course. If you have any resources too, feel free. If you have any like people you watch on, I'm always looking for like more people to watch on YouTube that explain these, because like you can get some interesting insights from reading, but sometimes the text is not always super approachable. Sometimes it's better to just have somebody who's very knowledgeable explain it to you in simple terms. So, anyway, okay. Thus will he think, who holds the truth of truths, in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, when he eats or goes, or breathes, slumbers or talks, holds fast or loosens, opens his eyes or shuts, always assured, this is the sense world, plays with senses. He that acts in thought of Brahm, detaching end from act, with act content, the world of sense can no more stain his soul than waters around a lotus leaf. With life, with heart, with mind, nay, with the help of all five senses, letting selfhood go. Sorry, you're going to hear a plane in the background. Or a helicopter, I guess. Yogins toil ever towards their soul's release. Such votaries, renouncing fruit of deeds, gain endless peace, the unavowed, the passion-bound, seeking a fruit from works, or are fastened down. The embodied sage, withdrawn within his soul. At every act sits godlike in the town which hath 9 gateways, neither doing aught nor causing any deed. Oh, my jaw is... For some reason, my jaw, when I read, gets super clenched. This world's lord makes neither the work, nor the passion for the work, nor lust for fruit of work, the man's own self pushes to these. The master of this world takes on himself the good or evil deeds of no man, dwelling beyond. Mankind errs here by folly, darkening knowledge. But for whom that darkness of the soul, chased by light, splendid and clear shines, manifests the truth, as if a sun of wisdom sprang to shed its beams of dawn. Him meditating still, him seeking, with him blended, stayed on him, the souls illuminating, taking that road, which hath no turning back, their sins flung off by strength of faith. To see who wisely sees the Brahmin and his scrolls and sanctities, the cow, the elephant, the unclean dog, the outcast, gorging dog's meat are all one. Okay, how much long? Oh, there's 2. Okay, there's 2 more paragraphs. Ooh, okay. I think we might conclude after these 2 paragraphs, because my jaw is starting to hurt. My jaw gets kind of tense when I read. The world is overcome, even here, by such as fix their faith on unity. The sinless Brahma dwells in unity, as they in Brahma. Be not over glad, attaining joy, and be not over sad, encountering grief, but stayed on Brahma, still, constant, let each abide. I think another reason why is because, like, I'm seeing a lot of the same thing being said over and over. I'm not getting any new. I know, it's my human nature to always need something new. I need the new wisdom. I just have heard all this before. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That's not what I'm just, perhaps it's just my human nature of getting tired easily and, not understanding this, very dense, writing. Encountering grief, but stayed on Brahman, still constant, let each abide. The sage whose soul holds off from outer context, in himself finds bliss. To Brahma joined by piety, his spirit tastes eternal peace. The joys springing from sense life are but quickening wombs, which breed sure griefs. My jaw gets tense when I read shirts. Yeah, I'll come up with my merch store, and that'll be on it. And also, it's getting bad when you read the same passage 3 times. When you start reading the same sentence over and over and over again, you're like, oh shit. And you glean absolutely nothing from it. It happens to the best of us. I will finish this, you guys. I am going to finish this. I will not be quitting. I'm not a quitter. I might have quit with all the other books, but I'm not quitting with this one. Okay. Even while he lives and bears his body's chain, to master lust and anger he is blessed. He is the yukta, he hath happiness, contentment, light within. His life is merged in Brahma's life. He doth nirvana touch. Thus go the rishis unto rest, who dwell with sins effaced, and doubts at end, with hearts governed and calm, glad in all the good they live, nigh to the peace of God. And all those who live, who pass their days exempt from greed and wrath, subduing self and senses, knowing the soul. Okay, last paragraph. The saint who shuts outside his placid soul all touch of sense, letting no contact through, whose quiet eyes gaze straight from fixed brows, whose outward breath and inward breath are drawn, equal and slow through nostrils still and close. That one with organs, heart, and mind constrained, bent on deliverance, having put away passion, fear, and rage, hath even now obtained deliverance, ever and ever freed. Yea, for he knows me who am he, that heeds that sacrifice in worship, God revealed, and he who heeds not, being Lord of worlds, lover of all that lives, God unrevealed, wherein who will shall find surety and shield. Okay. Alright. Chapter 5 concluded. Unfortunately everybody's in the ad break. The ad void. You guys. No, it's just my current mood. You know what? It's my current mood. I'm going to come back to this with fresh eyes. I'm going to come back to this with fresh eyes on another day. And it's going to be great. And you know why? Because I'm going to decide that it's great. I'm not going to let this win. I'm not going to let this this human body win. The human body that gets tired after staring at a screen. Are you going to watch the new Malcolm in the Middle? I want to spoil. No, Dom, I'm not gonna. I actually haven't seen the other one, so feel free. You can spoil it if you'd like. Does it have Hindu wisdom in it? That would be interesting. That'd be fascinating. Oh no, the yawns are coming. Yeah, I think it's a new series, Refly. Yeah. One of the characters does a therapeutic mushroom trip. Oh, no way. How did that go? And meets a Hindu character. I don't know who that is. Oh, they reached in, let's see. Oh, they met a spirit teacher. Is that basically what a bodhisattva is? A spirit teacher? He meets an evil part of his psyche and defeats it with love. Oh. Cool. Okay. Why does my you guys, as much as I try so hard to put the disillusionment at bay, but for some reason she always likes to sneak back up on me. I think it's my nature. It's in my nature for the disillusionment to just come in and be like, this is all meaningless. It's my shadow self. My shadow self is nihilism. My shadow self is nihilistic. I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't like that part of myself. I want her to be gone. It's like a little cricket in my ear. It's like Jiminy Cricket in my ear telling me. It's like my conscience. Except my conscience is the opposite of what a conscience should be. It's telling me that what I'm doing is meaningless. What are you disillusioned with? Ring the bell. Wait, what bell? Oh no. Oh no. Is the bell the one that cleanses the energy? I need that. Oh, okay. I need that. It's just like my default state to just come to the conclusion that nothing matters. And the more I learn about the world, the more that it confirms my as much as I want to be open-minded, I do. That's my aspirational identity. I want to be super open-minded. I want to be open-minded about everything. I want to approach everything. It's always in the back of my mind right there that's like, actually, this is bullshit. And I hate that. I don't like that. I don't want that to be my brain. It comes in. It's that philosophy brain. Yeah, I've been cursed. Lemon asks, have you ever explored Enneagram psych types? Oh, somebody asked me about that. What was the one I got? If I look at the map, I might see. Oh no. I feel like I took the test on stream at one point. Ah, crap. I think I was a 4. No. Let me go look at my Discord and see. If I search my Discord, I might be able to find it. Where do I search? Oh. I might have deleted the post. Oh, here we go. Okay. Here's my result. I got type 4. 4s are self-aware, sensitive, and reserved. They are emotionally honest, creative, and wait, no. Is that the one that's my aspirational? Hold on. Oh, yeah. They can also be moody and self-conscious. Withholding themselves from others due to feeling vulnerable and defective, they can also feel disdainful and exempt from ordinary ways of living. They typically have problems with melancholy, self-indulgence, and self-pity. Yeah. At their best. The one I want to believe, the one that I really want to be is number 9. I want to be the adaptive peacemaker. And that's what people might tend to think that I am if you look at me from the outside. But who I actually am is number 4. And that's what I want to get away from. I want to be number 9. I don't want to be number 4. You guys have that with your Enneagram where you're like, it tells you something that you know is correct, but you don't want it to be correct? You can't tell me who I am. You can't tell me who I am. Lemon says it's rooted in ancient Greek and got modernized, but I do think it's really helpful when dealing with shadow self tendencies. Well, and Lemon, I'm in the process of reading Man and His Symbols. I'm only a few pages in, so we're just dipping our toes in so far. And I'm hoping this will also give me insights into that, because I'm not actually familiar with shadow self, really. I have some guesses as to what it may be, but I want to get it from the source. I always like reading things from the source. So, Dom says no shade to any nihilists in the chat, but yeah, it can be hard to overcome it. It is this powerful spiritual force. It does feel like that, Dom. It does feel like an unwanted force within me. Mods definitely ring the bell now. Oh, come on, Refly. Refly and I see things very differently. And that's good. And I like that. I like that we have a mixture of different personalities in this community, because it helps us hold each other not accountable, but like you know what I mean? That's why you should go out and touch grass, because it gives you a diversity of opinions. Is that after or before the animal? Well, Refly, what I was referring to is how flippantly you talk about these things, which some people here respect. That's what I was referring to. That's okay, that's your personality. Some people's personality is that they do respect it. I'm not saying you're disrespecting, I'm just saying, like, people who believe that it's true. Lemon says to get Buddhist for a second. Oh, please get Buddhist. It's kind of a 3 poisons thing that brings out the shadow. You've got triggers based on nature and nurture. Huh. Triggers. Yeah, what trigger? I think one of my triggers, Lemon, is if something starts to feel like dogma. Because of my past as a Mormon, having the same thing be repeated over and over. If I see the same thing being repeated over and over and over again, and if I see somebody say, "You must believe this. You must. This is the only thing that is the truth." That's one of my triggers. So that might have been what set me off, is when reading the Bhagavad Gita, like, if I start noticing the same thing being said over and over, then I start to feel a bit condescended to. I don't like being condescended to, because I value myself too. Because I put myself on too high of a pedestal. Does it say anything here about being self-absorbed? Because that's me. I'm a bit self-absorbed. They have problems with melancholy, self-indulgence, and self-pity. At their best, they're inspired and highly creative. They are able to renew themselves and transform their experiences. The basic fear is that they have no identity or personal significance. That is spot on. Basic desire to find themselves and their significance. Key motivations that want to express themselves and their individuality, to create and surround themselves with beauty, to maintain certain moods and feelings, to withdraw, basically to control everything. Arrogant, I know. Yeah, I can be quite arrogant. We all can. We all have arrogance within us. Some of us more than others. But do you sway towards the 3 or 5 wing? I don't know. Of the Enneagram? I'm not I don't have the full report anymore. I don't have the full result anymore. It was deleted. So I'm not sure. Shoot. 5 chicken wings don't really fill my stomach. Oh, chicken. That sounds yummy. I'm gonna eat Mexican food tonight. I'm very excited. Who posted in my nature tab? Orange. Oh, so beautiful. Autumn sunsets. Oh, now that's nice. I don't know if Orange is still here, but I'll have to thank him for posting this. Beautiful. You might just be hungry right now. You just need a Snickers. No, that's the thing, Lemon, is that like I can feel my eyes starting to glaze over, or if I like start saying the same things over, and it's because my human container is quite fragile. I get bored quite easily, and so the importance is I need to recognize that so that I can pull myself away from the text and then approach it again with a clear mind and with a restored hope. And sometimes that's all it is. Like, if you go down a spiral some days, it might just be because you are hungry. Or like, maybe you're a bit lonely. Maybe you haven't left the house in 4 days and haven't seen another human soul. I mean, it could be as simple as that. As the reason to why you start going down these spirals of like, does anything even matter? Everything, oh my God, everything sucks. I can't find the meaning in anything. Then as soon as you eat a delicious food, as you're eating it, you're like, wow, life is beautiful. Or you see a beautiful sunset, and you're like, wow. I'm just kidding about all of those things I said before. Life is so meaningful. I didn't mean any of what I said before. I do that literally all the time, like multiple times a day, where it's like, I go down these long spirals of like, wow, life is meaningless. And then I just like, then I eat a cheeseburger. Well, I don't eat a cheeseburger, but I eat pasta. That's what I eat. I eat some really good pasta. I'm like, oh, yeah. This is what life's all about. This is the meaning. This is all I need. Okay. On that note, I think we might conclude. Lemon says, I think you're a 4 wing 5, the Bohemian. Hello, Chandu. How are you? Welcome. Yes, I was reading the Bhagavad Gita. We were reading it today. Here, I'll show you. We're reading it. We just finished reading chapter 5. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for following. So I've already had kind of an introduction, like a primer, before reading it. One thing that's kind of a drawback is that the language of this is quite complex. I don't have the luxury of reading like a simplified version or like any other version because it's copyrighted. Because I'm on Twitch and I want to share it, I have to have a non-copyrighted version. So this is the non-copyright version. How did you develop interest in it? Well, I was talking about this YouTube channel. So I started watching this YouTube channel of this guru who I think is very, very interesting. And he made videos about Advaita Vedanta. And I've always been searching, so Chandu, I've been searching for meaning in my life for like the past 5 years or so, like on and off. And Hinduism seems to me like the closest thing to the truth. I don't know if I'll ever land on an answer, on a sure answer, but a lot of the things explained make a lot of sense, especially when it comes to consciousness and like how thoughts and perceptions and emotions arise in your mind, or in your mind, kind of like a light shining in an empty room on different objects, right? The consciousness is the light that shines. It's always shining. There's always consciousness there. It just depends on whether there's anything to be perceived, there's anything to be noticed. And so, for some reason, that explanation really, really stuck with me. And I know that what's important is gaining knowledge. And so, that's what I'm trying to do with reading the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. It's the first Hindu text I've actually read. So, and because I've done yoga for most of my adult life. I love doing yoga. So that's another thing that kind of swayed my opinion. Yeah, I love yoga. So good. So good for your mental health, so good for your physical health. So, yeah, so good for like if you're having a really bad day, if you're really stressed out, if your thoughts are just like racing at 10 million miles an hour, if you do yoga, it can help channel your thoughts and help them just come in and then go out, and come in and go out. So, anyway. Sounds like I'm in desperate need to watch Monty Python, The Meaning of Life. That strikes me, Refly, as an absurdist take. Am I right or am I right? Monty Python seems very absurd. I watched the video of the philosophers playing football. There's Socrates kicking the ball, and they're like giving commentary. I did like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's the only one I've seen. Lemon says it sounds like I need to start doing yoga. Well, it works for me for sure. I can't guarantee it will work for everybody, but I think there's definitely some benefits to be had. Even with doing like simple yoga, like stretches, like cat and cow, or even like just like doing your breathing. You and Eclecte will like it. It has hot women in it. Thank you. Well, Reflight, that wasn't enough of a... That's what you said about Star Trek, and I still haven't watched that. That wasn't enough of a reason to get me to watch Star Trek. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, hot women is not enough for me. There has to be more. There has to be more. I need a lot. I need a lot to convince me. And it has the meaning of life message. Yeah. Well, the thing is, Refly, is that I watch things all the time that have meaning of life messages. And it can be cool temporarily. But then after, the disillusionment starts creeping back in, like a little earworm. It starts burrowing in my brain. It's like, are you sure about that? It's called having anxiety. Actually, it's just anxiety. I love having anxiety. It's great. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Unmedicated, by the way. Unmedicated anxiety. I'm just raw dogging life. I'm just raw dogging life. Ask your husband if... I don't think he's seen it, Reply. I mean, I can't recommend it, but it's the way I do things, so. Chandu asks, are you from Canada? Unfortunately not. I wish. No, I'm from America. Yeah, I'm from Utah. Yeah. Canada seems to be doing almost everything right. I wish. Maybe I'll migrate there. Maybe I'll live there. I'll move there. They seem like a really chill place. I spilled tea all over myself. You guys, I'm changing my nationality to Canadian. Well, as a constructivist, like, I don't really attach that much value. Have you visited India? Not yet. One day I would like to. I visited a lot of places in Asia. I visited China, Singapore. That's it. A lot of places. No, wait. No, I feel like. I mean, I visited Japan. More like the Japanese airport. Hong Kong. Mostly just China. I pledge allegiance to the maple leaf. Yes. Collective says, I will be changing to Japanese. Japan seems pretty cool too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, one day I'd like to visit India. I really, really enjoy Indian food. Indian food is delicious. So good. Okay. All right. I think we may conclude. I was talking about concluding like 10 minutes ago, but now we're really going to conclude. Let's see. I think today is going to be a non-raid day today. No raiding today. But I hope you have a great rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend. Thank you all for spending time with me. Thank you so much, Eclecte, for taking the time to come by. I know you're super busy these days. So it means a lot that you decided to come here. Bye, Chandu. Thank you again for stopping by. Thank you, Lemon. Thank you for the follow. Okay. Life is Roblox. Did that not appear? That appeared, right? I think I... Anyway. Bye. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. I don't have my headphones in because I get overstimulated. So I actually don't know what the audio situation... It's better if I just live in ignorance and just pretend like the audio situation doesn't exist. So... Okay. Okay, bye. See you. Bye.